Welcome to an extremely wet and windy Berners Hall fishery, which is going to play host to the DSD Tackle team social over the next 3 days. With everyone told to arrive for a 10 AM start, there were some familiar faces and some new ones, and it had been a long time since everyone could get together and get back out on the bank for a proper social. Once everyone was well acquainted again, it was time for a walk round the lake so everyone could get a proper feel for the place. The res, which holds around 600 to 700 carp in 24 acres of water, with at least 80 over the magical £30 mark, and not to mention also a handful of catfish. There are 24 swims on the lake, allowing the team plenty of choice when it came to picking a swim. Now it was time for the draw, and with it being a watercraft draw, everyone got to pick a number out of the hat. With number 1 getting first choice of swims, there were some happy faces and some not so happy faces, with the swims which commanded the middle of the lake being the most sought after. With all the formalities over and done, a quick message from owner Dan to the group, and then it was back to the car park to start to get everything unloaded. A quick drive for some around the other side of the lake to the second car park, but for those already in the main car park, they'd already started getting their barrows loaded and started pushing them off to their swims. With everyone eager to get round to their swims and start setting up, but for the guys on the other side, they were welcomed with a rather unforgiving hill to reach the lake. Once they were in their swims, with the heavens looking like they're just about to open, getting the bivvies up was the first thing on everyone's minds. With 40-mile-an-hour winds causing chaos, even the birds were finding it hard. It made setting up a nightmare and casting accurately almost impossible. But with everyone wanting a little bit of shelter from the elements, it wasn't long before all the bivvies were up, the rods were out, and for those who were brave enough to face the elements, they didn't have to wait long before their efforts were rewarded. First blood coming to the gaffer Dan, tipping the scales round to just under £22. With a lovely scaly mirror, the prize for being the first to get all 3 rods in the pond. Caught on a small gravel bar at 15 rats, the fish couldn't resist a single white fully loaded pop-up from Urban Baits. Rig-wise, Dan used a flip rig, type of a £35 chop filament and a size 6 long shank for nailing the fish. It was never coming off. A break in the weather, and with the rain easing off, allowed the rest of the guys to finally get all of their rods sorted. Even the geese thought it was time to make a move and get back into the water. Dazza using the opportunity to move swims, wasting no time in getting his rods out. And although the rain may have subsided, the wind certainly hadn't. But it didn't matter, because what happened next was a little bit special. Only 14 catfish in the lake, and Kev had managed one of the big uns at £61, with a tadpole-like tail, large pectorals, tiny dorsal and massive tentacles to search out its prey, a truly alien creature. This one with a lovely red tinge down the flank, caught on a size 6 curve with a yellow pop-up on a Ronnie, a true test for the deadly curves. With the fishing starting to kick off, Nicky was next up in battle with a proper little scrapper, and after putting up a last minute fight under the rod tip, trying everything it could do for freedom, the components held strong and it was in the net. Bang on £19, caught with 15 wraps over a light scattering boilies. Time to hold him up for a quick photo and then slip him back. Dazza had an eventful morning, with a broken bivvy due to the wind, a move in the rain. The effort was worthwhile after only a couple of hours of being in the new swim. Staying calm and playing the fish with the rod tip down stopped it from diving deep and kept it at the surface all the way into the net. And this chunky 26-pound mirror being the reward. The fish seemed to be on the move, and with head consultant Chris next to get a bite, the fish managed to burrow itself right into a weed bed, the rod completely locking up. Walking back and applying steady pressure, the fish was finally in the net. Relief it was finally in the net, and time to unveil what had put up such a fight, going from weed bed to weed bed, covered in leeches, at just under 27 pounds was the biggest so far. Due to the leader ban, Chris used a DSD naked heady system with tungsten sinkers to pin everything down. With the weather showing no signs of improvement, everyone settled down to their bivvies for the night, hoping to be awakened by the sound of screaming alarms as their wake-up call. As night turned into morning, Sam already had the first one on the bank. Big apple sliced golden scales lighting up yet another gloomy morning. Spinning the scales round to £22, a good way to start the day. Shortly after returning the fish, Dan, 2 pegs down, was into his first fish of the session. Once the fish was safely in the net, sensing another bite was on the cards, Dan set about getting his rods back onto the spot to capitalise on the action. Weighing 27 pounds, caught from a clear spot in the weed at 20 wraps. A Ronnie rig with a size 6 Y-Gape SP being Dan's rig of choice. The effort to getting the rods back on the spots quickly were rewarded with another bite, this time the 17-pound mirror of the culprit. With a break in the rain and the action, the barbecue and the kettle were fired up for a well-deserved breakfast. Luke on cooking duty and Fudge making sure everyone had a brew, making sure everyone was fueled for the day to come. The breakfast didn't last long, and with the food over and done, talk turns to the possibilities to come. Berners Hall is home to some truly stunning fish, and Nicky's second fish of the session was no exception. At just under £19, although who cares how big it was when it looked like this. Without question, one of the best looking fish you're going to see anywhere. Truly one for the future, going to be making dreams for years to come. It's so important to treat these creatures with the respect they deserve and ensure they go back in as just as good condition as they did when they came out. What a morning it had been, and it was just about to get even better. Sam had finally managed to get his second one of the session safely in the net, and a special one at that, with this stunning half limb. Clearly one of the older residents in the lake, with a row of crusty scales either side, sunken eyes, and a gnarly old head. Not to mention, it was a new PB for Sam at £30 and 4 ounces. With everyone coming down to share in the moment together, it's what it's all about. However, everyone knows what happens when you catch a PB. And the magic didn't stop there. This time it was Dan's turn for a new PB, and it was an absolute chunk, weighing 35 pounds, the biggest of the session so far, and another PB smashed. A single pop-up cast of showing fish at around 80 yards was enough to tempt this Leviathan, and with a frame like that, it's only going to keep getting bigger. And with Dan getting in for the obligatory water shots, he certainly wasn't going to escape a soaking either. Now time to slip her back, watch her swim away and let her fight another day.
DSD started pre-lockdown 2020. It was something I was looking into for a while, but couldn't find a manufacturer that I could deal directly with. I didn't want to go down the route of wholesalers, couldn't guarantee the products would be available, so we found a manufacturer, got the sample orders in, and obviously lockdown happened. So we tested the products during May, so it's about a year now. So this is the first social for all the team members. We had a little social last year, but this is the first one for the full team now. Turning up yesterday, it was blowing an absolute hoolie straight into the tyre bank, waves hitting the bank. The rain was hammering down. As I say, one of the boys was setting his bivvy up on the tyre bank, and it snapped his bivvy in half clean. That's how bad it was. I went for a little walk round, went and saw everyone who's set up, managed to get my rods out, and within 5 minutes it peeled off, so that was the first one of the session. And then it's gone from strength to strength. We've had fish out to just under 35, 9 carp, 61 cat as well. So yeah, it's been going well.
Pulled out peg 11, not been here before, so just having a lead about and out, found a wee bed at about 15 wraps, fishing just beyond that at 16 wraps, and yeah, managed to nick one out, and then unfortunately lost one this morning, so, but yeah, up to 26, 12 I think it was, so not too bad, mate. First time here, so glad to nick one out. Yeah, social media is doing really well. Obviously I run the Instagram and the Facebook page. The followers are slowly creeping up on there. We're up to, I think just over a year, just over 2,000 followers now. Facebook's creeping up as well. It's just important to keep the content coming in and keep the posts regularly, but not too much. You don't want to bore people all the time, you know. So yeah, we started up a TikTok account as well. One of our other consultants, Luke, he runs that, and yeah, that's just gone mad, mate. It's gone up 30k followers now, if not more. One of the videos on there has gone over 25 million views, mate. So yeah, it's going really well, mate, in a minute.
My main role for DSD Tackle is the TikTok page. Currently we have 36,500 followers, and also one of our videos is 26.5 million views, which is completely out of this world. We never expected. We've only been doing TikTok for about 8 months now. We never expected a video to be going that high. With that video, it's bringing a lot for us. You know, a lot more followers, a lot more likes. I think we're nearly 2,000 likes as well at the moment. 200,000 likes, sorry. Yeah, it's amazing. We're mind blown on how quickly it's gone up. The video is something that we do hold quite dear to us, which is carp care. You know, it's just simply treating a fish, making sure that it's going back in tip-top condition for the next time it's getting caught. The fish had a slight cut on its tail, so what he was doing is he put a little bit of propolis carp care on there, sealed it with a bit of water, and then that's all it showed, really. You know, it's quite a simple little video, but it's amazing how far something like that can go.
Finally, the clouds passed and the sun started shining. The brighter weather seemed to give everyone a new lease of life. Rods being recast and rigs repositioned for the final evening. So far, all of the fish have come from one side of the lake, although that was all about to change. Pete was absolutely buzzing to get his first Berners Hall carp on the bank, with 58 miles per hour winds making casting the distance in the first 24 hours almost impossible. Once the wind calmed down though, the fish started showing on the back of the island. 2 would-be pull rigs and 2 Ks of an oily tuna mix were deployed to the area, which was clearly too much for this one to resist. With the sun beating down, Pete wasted no time in getting another withy pull bag rig tied up to get the rod back onto the spot. Pete had a friend drop off a bait boat to combat the wind, filling it up with some more of the oily tuna mix, keeping the attraction in the swim. By using the bait boat, Pete can ensure he dropped the rig on the same spot every time. With the fish now showing down the front end of the lake, Georgie packed up and moved down to try and get on the fish. And in this game, effort usually equals reward. While on the other bank, everyone was heading round for a takeaway and a bit of a social to chew the fat on the session so far. While everyone was feasting on the other side, Pete was busy in battle with another carp, which went from weed bed to weed bed in search of freedom. Pete's persistence finally paid off, and after a lengthy battle lasting over an hour, meaning he missed out on dinner, he was rewarded with this stunning £27 mirror. Size 6 Y-Gape SP and the new test hook link definitely put through their paces and passed them with flying colours, and the evening was just about to get a little bit more vibrant. The morning was just as beautiful as the evening. With an orange tinge to the blue skies, the place certainly had a different feel to it. It seemed like Berners Hall had kept its beauty hidden until now, but it was certainly worth waiting for. The action carried on for Pete with his third fish of the session in the sling. His hard work and persistence paying off, just general all-round good angling, and apparently it was another one of the Berners stunners. This one would prove to be the last one of the session. Now it was time to pack up and head off.
Overall, the session's gone really well. Big changes in the weather. First day, as we said earlier, was savage. Winds were big, rain. It changed completely the second day. Wind turned a little bit, started blowing up the other end of the lake. Rain dropped off, and it made the fishing far easier. A few boys, 2 actually had their PBs. A few more fish came out, finished on 14 fish in all, and 1 cat. If you're interested in our products and you want to have a look at what we've got, the places we're stocked are Twynhurst Fishing Complex in Surrey, Isleworth Angling, and also Letchworth Bait and Tackle. Obviously we've got it online as well at www.dsd-tackle.co.uk.